Again, with that deadly collision on a New York airport runway, LaGuardia Airport in Queens, New York, officials say the airport will be closed until at least 2 p.m. local. Late last night, an Air Canada jet collided with a Port Authority fire and rescue vehicle while landing. 2 pilots were killed and dozens of people were injured. The plane was also significantly damaged, as you can see. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen has the latest.
Hey there, good morning to you. Well, investigators are working to piece together what led to that deadly runway collision overnight here at LaGuardia Airport. So let's get up to speed with what we know so far. Authorities say an Air Canada Express regional jet arriving from Montreal struck a Port Authority emergency vehicle on the runway shortly after landing a few minutes before midnight. The aircraft was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members when it collided with a fire truck. Now, the collision killed the 2 pilots. More than 40 people were hurt. So the big question here is, why was that emergency vehicle on an active runway? Well, according to air traffic control audio, the air traffic controller had given clearance for the vehicle to respond to another emergency involving an odor on a United flight. But moments later, the controller realized his mistake and tried to stop the vehicle. Some of the audio that we heard, you could hear the air traffic controller saying, "Stop, truck 1, stop," urging that truck to stop. Now, the FAA has issued a ground stop and shut down operations at LaGuardia. The NTSB has also deployed a GO team to investigate. And of course, this is all coming as travelers are already going through a tough time, struggling with those long lines at so many airports around the country due to the partial government shutdown. Back to you.
You train your body with workouts. So why?
All right, Tom Hansen, thank you very much. Let's bring in CBS News contributor, Captain Laura Eisettler. She is a veteran commercial airline pilot with 30 years of experience piloting airplanes. Captain, give us a sense of what pilots would be doing moments before this crash. In other words, we know the plane had landed. We know it was going at about, according to our transportation correspondent, Chris Van Cleve, about 24 miles an hour. So perhaps you can tell us, Captain, at what speeds an aircraft like that would touch down at, and where they would be in the roll down the runway at 24 miles per hour before seeing that truck on the runway.
Yes, well, normally some of the speeds that we're actually touching down at, depending on the type of aircraft, could be as much as 250 miles an hour. This was an Embraer RJ, so they're going to be significantly slower than that as they're landing. But when we're on the runway, we're focused on runway alignment, runway conditions, and decelerating the aircraft with thrust reversers and brakes. So at that speed, we would be thinking at this point that it would be what runway or what taxiway turnoff are we going to take, and which location is best for turning off, depending on the type of taxiway.
And Captain, when a plane lands and they're on the tarmac, are they still relying exclusively on air traffic control directions, or can they take over in terms of using their visual cues about where to go? And then how much control do they really have over the aircraft? I imagine it's hard to maneuver when you're landing a plane like that.
Well, when we're landing, we have the priority of that runway until we have turned off the runway. We are in complete command of the aircraft, the entire time, takeoff and landing. So it's just a really unfortunate circumstance in this case. They'll be looking at things like what was the breakdown in communications. Sometimes air traffic controllers might be talking on a different frequency to emergency crews and speaking with us on a different frequency. So especially if they're working multiple frequencies at the same time.
Yeah, you at one point do hear in the audio of the air traffic controller, he's talking to another pilot, and he says that he made a mistake in sending that vehicle out onto the runway. So then, of course, Captain, the question is there anything? Well, let me ask you this, Captain. Is it possible that air traffic controller was all by himself at one of the nation's busiest airports in the middle of the night?
Well, that's something that the NTSB will be looking to investigate to see what it was happening in that type of situation. It's in the middle of the night, timing like that. We're going to have reduced staffing because there's reduced air traffic, right? So they'll be looking at those various factors. But the controllers, they take turns, having breaks every now and again. But as we've seen in this past history, there's a lot of distractions in the world right now. It's very critical that we pay close attention to everything and always be situationally aware for public safety.
So does it feel then that this is, and I know we say this often because we spend a lot of time covering tragedies and mishaps in the air and on the ground when it comes to air travel, but does it feel like we're in a moment now, Captain, or in other words, a moment where we're seeing an increasing frequency of mishaps like this, both on the air and on the ground, or is it just because we're more hyper aware and we're more connected than we've ever been in terms of the media access that people have, whether it's through social media or obviously through national broadcasts like this one?
I would say, in my opinion, it's a bit of both. Absolutely. Post-pandemic, we've tried to meet the travel demand that came after that so that we could bring everyone to where they want to be going. And at the same time, with everything that we see, everyone with a smartphone, we now see actually so much from around the world in the world of aviation.
Captain, the plane is pitched up. Its nose is in the air. We heard that might be because the passengers deplaning maybe shifted the weight of the plane. Do you have any idea why that might be?
Well, for center of gravity purposes, there's some aircraft that are built that way. If everyone is going out the back and the cargo and luggage are on the back of that aircraft, that could definitely be what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and the front of the plane, the nose of the plane has been completely shredded, including, I'm guessing, that front landing gear, which would provide some counterweight, right, Captain?
Yeah, that's very difficult to see, of course, these visuals, and know, our hearts and prayers are with all the families in this that's been involved in this accident.
Especially those two
Pilots.
officers, the two pilots, because it could have been much, much worse, but I can only imagine what it's like. You're a pilot, you just succeeded in bringing all those souls to safety on the ground, and all of a sudden this truck appears in your path, and there's very little you can do. I'm guessing, Captain, in that moment you're traveling at 25 miles an hour. You can't maneuver the plane. It's not like a race car.
Absolutely. And, we have such the weight of the aircraft and that forward thrust that we have.
Right.
And it could have been a lot worse had they been at a higher speed even. So
We're thinking of those pilots and their families.
for
Yes.
sure.
Captain Lauren Einsettler, thank you so much.
thank you.